Hi guys, good morning. Welcome to my channel, and today I'm gonna take you around my garden. This is the place where we spend most of our time on weekends, on weekdays, and also on the evenings. So we try to grow a lot of fruit trees, vegetables, flowers throughout the year. And this is where we kind of stress bust and try to make fun and make more memories out of this place. So today I'll show you all the plants we have and the different varieties and how we grow them, and I'll give you a small tour of my garden. Okay, let's start. So here we have basil, which is Indian variety called holy basil, and this one we tried to sow cilantro, but the basil seeds, like somehow they were spread in this pot and they started growing, and we just left it as is because since we consider this as holy basil, we didn't want it to remove any of those plants. So here my husband and my daughter planted some cilantro seeds. They started sprouting right now, so you can see them. So this is where my daughter put few of the seeds, like cilantro seeds. And here we have a rose plant. This is a light pink rose, and the variety is called a sweet drift rose. This is a pretty sturdy plant, and it flowers throughout the year, and it's always full of flowers. In case if you are looking for a rose plant, this is a good one. Then we have few dahlias. They come back every year. So this is a light orange. These are pretty good. Like every year you just have to plant them once and they come back every year. And here I have few tomato plants. So if you notice them, they are in the rice bags. So my husband tries to reuse most of the kitchen stuff to grow these vegetables and fruits and everything basically. So we are using few rice bags. Since this is a cloth bag, it has holes in it, so he just planted these inside them, and if you water them, the water just comes outside. So it's pretty good, and the trees are doing really good in this one. So I mean the plants. And this is a curry leaf plant we have, and if you see it, these are quite a few plants within it. So we use this in cooking. It adds a nice flavor to your food, and we love this plant. And here so I just had few seeds from past year, so I just threw them here and they just started sprouting, and now I have a lot of watermelons. So these are watermelon plants. Maybe in a month or two we'll have a lot of watermelons from these. And this is a blueberry plant. We got it like few years back, and we just planted it in the pot, and it gives us good amount of blueberries every year, and we are trying to plant it in the ground so we can get a good harvest of this. And if you see here, this is an orange plant. It's basically a small orange, like a clementine. We planted this like 5 years ago when we moved into this house. It took a while to grow this big. It's quite mature now, and it started bearing few fruits right now. So if you see, so these fruits should be ready by October, and I can show you later how it looks when all these fruits are like they turn yellow and big. I'll show you how it looks. This is the lemon plant we have. We planted it like last year. We used to have a lemon plant here, but somehow we have a gopher problem, and one fine day we just lost it. And we tried to find few varieties, and we noticed that the Meyer Lemon is a good plant to have because it produces quite a few lemons every year, and you have supply throughout the year. So this is a Meyer Lemon variety. If you see, it started having few fruits already. And this is a rose variety. It has few pink roses on it, and it's a climber. It's a climbing rose plant. And if you see here, this is fig, and if you see it started having few fruits already. It's a quite small plant. We planted this like few years ago, and it's taking some time to grow, but if you see, it has quite a few fruits on it already. And this variety is called Black Mission. It's like our it has like black figs on it, and they're quite sweet and very juicy. Here we have an area for vegetables. So we have gopher issue, so we have to dig up all the mud like for like 2 or 3 feet down, and then we have to put this wire metal mesh and then put the soil back, and we have to plant these vegetables back. Otherwise it's hard to protect them from gophers. So if you see, I have few eggplants here, and then I have a bitter gourd, and then few okra plants. And this is a mirchi or a green chili plant we had from last year. It survives the winter, so you just have to leave it like that, and every year it comes back. So if you have noticed, there are few milk cans that we are trying to reuse. The reason we are using that is we have a lot of snails and slugs problem. We tried to overcome that. We did a lot of things, but they try to come back and eat our plants. So this is one easy hack we found. Like if you try to cut your milk bottle into half and try to use it as a cover to protect your plants, they do pretty well. So the snails and slugs don't seem to climb through that can and eat the leaves. So somehow they don't do that, and we can protect the plant from them. This is a banana plant we have. This is gifted to us by one of our friends, and it's doing quite well. If you see, it has 2 or 3 more plants. See, this is one. Yeah, if you see there, we planted some okra in the same pot, and they started sprouting. Now we have to transplant these to few other places. We have to distribute it throughout the garden. And this is our other section where we have some herbs and some flower plants. So this is one variety of rose we have, which is called IceBerg white rose. If you see, after some time, you will not see any leaves. It will be covered with flowers. So I love this variety, and if possible, I'll try to add a picture on the corner, so you can notice how good this plant looks when it's covered with all the flowers. This is another herb we have. We had this in a pot, but we tried to transplant this into the ground. This is called oregano. We usually use it, you can use it as a herb in cooking, or you can just put it in your house and your house would smell really good. And this is another holy basil. We tried to transplant it in the ground, so we have to see how this will do in the winter, because this is the first time we are trying to transplant it in the ground, because most of the time it survives well in the pot, and we usually place the pot under a covered shed, so it survives the winter. And this is another plant we have. It's rosemary. So it's good to have these herbs and flowers together with vegetables, because they'll attract a lot of honeybees, and honeybees are needed to get your vegetables pollinated, and that basically helps the garden. And all these herbs would keep insects from your vegetable garden, so you can have a good produce. These are different varieties of dahlias we have. I'm waiting for this flower to open because I'm not sure the color. This is a surprise to us this year, because we had few bulbs we got from Costco and we planted, so we weren't sure what's the color. So we are waiting for it to open up. So we wanted to see what color it is. So this one is from last year. This is a pink one. It's a lovely pink, if you see. When it opens up, it's a pretty big flower and it looks so cool and so beautiful. And this is the other rose variety we have. We got it from a nursery nearby, and we totally love this color. It has two colors in it. It has a red one and an orange, and it's a mix of both those colors. And this variety is called Ketchup and Mustard, and it lives up to its name. We really like this rose, and we just trim it every winter and it comes back healthy, and it looks beautiful. Here we have few vegetable beds here. So we have cucumbers, we have lemon cucumber. We just planted seeds, and then it takes a week for them to sprout and then grow. Then my husband built these trellis. So since they are climbers, these trellis would help them grow and they don't tangle with each other and they grow healthy. And this is a bed for tomatoes. So these tomatoes, we usually get them from nursery every year, but this year we wanted to try something new. So we tried to germinate these tomato plants from seeds. So I got few tomatoes from Indian store, and then I squeezed the seeds out of it, and then I just planted them, and it turned out really good. So if you always bring tomatoes from nurseries or garden, don't do that. Try to sprout the plants from seeds, and believe me, it's very easy and they come up. It's less maintenance, and then you'll have ample number of plants. And we also gave away few plants to our neighbors, and we are waiting for the supply, though we weren't sure how the supply would be. So we are looking forward to see how these plants would do. Then we have an avocado plant here. So we tried to get this plant from the seed, Like one of our friends have an avocado plant, and then they gave us a seed, and we tried to grow this plant from the seed. And this is a Hass variety. We it was in pot last year, and this year we tried to plant it in the ground. I'm looking forward to this. I'm not sure if it'll bear any fruits very soon, because it might take at least 10 to 12 years to bear a fruit, and it needs another plant to pollinate. So we want to see how this does. And here we have a few palm trees, but they are in the pots. Like if you see, they're in the pots buried in the ground, so we can control the growth so they don't take up our own whole garden. So there is one here, and there is another one that's that side. They're pretty good. They look so cute, and they make our garden look very beautiful. And here, if you see, we have a leafy vegetable bed. This is gongura. It's also called sour spinach. It's a variety of leafy vegetable which has a lot of iron content in it, and it's good to mix up a lot of vegetables and eat, because it'll give you all the nutrients and vitamins needed for your body. And this is Malabar spinach. This is also a variety of spinach. It's a climber. So my husband built trellis, so it grows onto the trellis, and we can control the growth.